Guys, we are about to do my skincare routine. So come on in. Hey, Ryan. This is my new sleeping outfit that my girl bought me. My girl Brittany bought me, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it, you guys. Obsessed. This is the makeup look we had today. I know I look beautiful. No, I'm just like, I'm feeling extra pretty today because all of you guys have just been building me up, and I needed that because I had a hard week this week. I know, right? They literally changed my whole appearance having the eyelashes. I literally feel like so bougie. There we go. Take them off and see how much opener it makes my eye. Look at the difference. Dang. Okay. It lifts my eye up a little bit, I feel like. You know what I mean? It makes my eyes look more open. Okay, let's get this going. If you guys are not doing skincare, men and women, y'all all need to be doing skincare with your faces. It's very important to take care of your skin. Especially since we're all getting older, this is part of our self-care. Okay? Doing our nice skincare. Now, what we're using right now is the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm. Ryan, I was thinking we need to do a live stream and I could come over there and tell my story to your TikTok audience if you want me to, but I won't be, I can do it in 30, 45 minutes though. It won't be too long. If you want to, someday. I'm going to have Ty on from the Jovial Junkie. She's going to come share her story next week on Cinco de Mayo, Thursday. I had her on my YouTube channel, but when she came on my TikTok last time, it was glitching real bad, and I want to have her on again so we can get her full story here on TikTok. And plus, me and her, man, we talked on the phone today for a whole hour, dude, just talking. It was like we hadn't missed a beat. She's a good person. I love her to death. I'm making so many good friends here on TikTok. And I'll tell you guys, a lot of the friends that I'm making are from all the hates that people were trying to give me. Because what's happening is people are reaching out to me that I've never met to see if I'm okay and talk to me. And I'm gaining friendships from it. You know, it's awesome. That's how it is. You turn that hate around and turn it into friendships and love and tolerance from all of my TikTok family. You know? Hey, Kayla, what's up, baby? I was just telling everybody that, you know, from all the hate that I was getting this week, what ended up happening is it ended up turning in to so much love and support from you guys. And that I'm so grateful because what was, a hurtful situation ended up turning into me gaining a lot of friendships out of it. And I'm just grateful, Okay. So, do you guys want to hear about prison? Because I'm about to bring Jarrett on if y'all want to hear about prison. Just winning the game, man. Totally. I'm serious. It's a heart attack. Come on, Jarrett. I just sent you an invite. I'm going to wash my face and do my skincare where taking it and turning that. Do you want to show your face?
Absolutely.
You do? Okay. I'm going to take you off. When you come back on, up at the very top, it'll say allow camera. Make sure you click that, okay?
Yeah, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, here we go. Invite. Okay, come on. Pay attention when you'll see it. Okay, there you are.
There I am.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, just trying to keep up with you.
What's up, best friend?
Yeah, you better know it. So, I was watching you on your walk, and it was fun. I actually enjoyed it. I love to talk, and I'll over-talk you and talk way too much, but that's just what I do. But it was nice watching you interact with with the other people who follow you and who love you. And I took some notes, so you're gonna have to give me like a little rant time, because you got to hear it. You need to hear it. You might not want to, but you need to, and you know that's always the best.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Give me 1 second here.
Look, I mean, you don't have to say it right now.
No, but look, I'm not kidding you. Look, here's I'm outside, so this is literally, these are notes I was taking in the drive-through from your live about. I was like, I'll forget it. Okay, so first off, let me say I'm very happy that you've turned this negative week that you've had, which I don't get a lot of hate from real people. I get like shitty comments from people sometimes that are like user 19,710,015, you know, with a note that's not real. So always,
right.
Always discount people with their username is just username, and B, if they don't have a profile picture, they're not real. I don't think most people in the world are real, actually, but you know, they're just going along. But I'm glad that you finally got to see, or you slowed down long enough to listen to the positive things you've done, because it's like I said yesterday when we were texting, it's so easy to focus on the negative. Like the only people I listen to, like I listen to a lot of podcasts, but they're mostly by comedians. And you know, comedians are already, they're people like you and I. They're people from like crazy situations in life, and they just took that negative energy and negative trauma in their life and turned it into a career. But they're broken people. The good ones are.
Yeah.
Just like addicts, just like, you know, junkies. But it's so, like, even like, I know I listen to several famous people who have millions of followers, and they read the comments like a maniac. But even those people, they'll have 6,000 positive comments, but they zero in on the one negative, because as humans, especially humans who come from bad situations or from traumatic events, we don't feel like we deserve anything. And that was a big thing I had to learn in life. Like, oh, I don't deserve this because of what I did in the past. Fuck all that. You do, because of who you are. You're getting it because who you are now, not who you were. But it's hard to make the brain realize I don't have to be, you know, that person. And I'm glad that you're finally.
Why is it that our brain? Why is it that our brain? Like, why come it feels like one negative comment feels like a million negative comments? You know what I'm saying? Why is that? There's got to be something like scientific about it, you know?
What I think it is I don't think anything in life anything in good in life, I don't think it comes easy.
Yep.
So even if we get into a physical space of getting clean and going to work and paying our bills and being with our children, that's just a physical thing we're doing. We're not taking time to process everything mentally, and we're not putting the work in mentally to understand all the things that are happening. So if your brain's not caught up with your body, when you see a negative comment, your brain's still in negative mode, because we're so busy we don't take time to sit down and actually think about all the good things in life and all the positive things we've achieved. Because you don't have to think about the good things you're doing while you're doing them or after you've done them, because you have to do them to survive. So if you don't take time out of your schedule and put the phone down or turn the video game off or cut the bullshit and sit and actually think about it and ponder on it and think, you know what? I have made a dramatic transformation in my life. And from the physical things, you slow down and think, well, the physical things mean I can do it. And the fact that I want to do it means I'm a better person, and reflect on, because we all feel like we're unworthy, and it's selfish if we say, good job, me, I did good today. We feel like an asshole because it sounds like an asshole thing, but it's not. Just like you see all these people who talk about, like I've been seeing a bunch of videos with women, and they play that sound where they're like, who do you call when you're having a bad day? And it's all guys. And like, you can call somebody, or I don't call anybody. Nobody gives a fuck, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? None of us feel like we're worthy, and that might get into like a religious aspect, or I don't know. You know, everybody has their position where they come from in life, but when the good things are good, we don't feel like we're worthy because of the bad things we've done. And it's so much easier to focus on, because if somebody says, hey, Nicole, you did great today walking how much ever you walked, you're like, well, I'm supposed to walk. I'm a human. I'll walk. Well, but that was a big deal. And I even saw it when you were doing that. You discounted something that you were trying. You're doing a positive thing to try to be better physically and mentally, but you discounted it in like, I mean, I know I'm not going to get in shape just from walking. Bullshit, bitch. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You
I
can.
know.
Yeah, you fucking can. Look, I mean, even as big a piece of shit as Jared Fogle is from Subway, his fat ass lost 200 pounds walking the Subway every day. And he was a
Yeah.
fucking kid toucher. You know what I'm saying? But he did it. And I'm not like promoting him, damn him. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I know
But
what you mean. Like,
I've done that
it's,
my whole life. Anytime I do anything good, or even because what you're doing is you're saying, well, I know I'm not that CrossFit girl, Annie Thor's daughter on the Reebok CrossFit Games, who can, has 14 abs and can run 17 miles with a weight vest on. So if I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing nothing. But you are doing something. That was one thing I learned in prison, and I tried to preach to all the guys I know, because obviously everybody in prison is broken people in some sense. We're so quick to discount because we don't want to feel like we're bragging. That
yes.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, don't guys, I'm walking, and if you guys want to walk with me, great, but don't feel like I'm doing more than you. But because I'm not better than you. I'm just walking. So, but I would like, if you want to walk, please. No, that's a big deal. That's huge, because it's not the fact that you're walking, it's the fact that you're thinking, I'm going to walk to lose weight because I know I'll feel better about myself if I lose a few pounds. And then if I lose a few pounds, then my brain feels better, then my body feels better, and it just goes back and forth to nothing but good things. But we don't want to feel like we're bragging because we know there's people out there not doing anything. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So that's number one. Do not discount the positive things you're doing in life because you're worried about you're not doing enough, or you're worried about offending someone who's not doing anything. You're doing you, and you're doing it from the right place. Okay, hold on. That's one. There's like 4 bullet points here. You're gonna get it.
I'm listening.
Um, we're gonna leave that one for last. Oh, okay. So while I was on there, you talked to Micah. Okay. Now I don't know anything about Micah. You and I have just kind of linked up recently. So I don't have like the in depth on the people you know. But she seems to be a big fan of yours, sis. A real big fan. Because you kind of saved her life a little bit. You know what I mean? And this goes into the bullshit we were talking about yesterday with that lame talking shit to you. And you're getting this old man wisdom because, like I told you, I sit in prison for 10 years and I just sit around and thought like a yogi. Like that was me. I'm the guy in the corner in the Lotus. Like, what is the purpose of my life? What am I doing? That's what I did. Okay. Here's the thing, though. At what point in your life, if you look at it, and I think very analytically, and sometimes it drives my wife crazy because she'll present me with a problem and I'll respond with a factually, analytically correct answer, but she doesn't want me to do that. She wants an emotional support answer. I don't know how to
Right.
do that. So I'm just going to tell you what it is. My dad was a firefighter for like 15, 16 years. It was his favorite job he ever had. Um, he actually got medically retired because his partner Narcaned a guy and about beat him and his partner to death when he came back. He tore his shoulder, ripped a bunch of ligaments out of him. My dad legitimately saved people's lives in a physical sense, which is great. Obviously, that's a cool thing. At what point in your life, when you were 15 years old, getting hammered on E&J VSOP, which is disgusting, but I can't say shit because I used to drink hot Jägermeister, so who am I to judge? A fellow sick individual. Um, Going to the club, shaking your ass, spelling your name in cocaine, which that made me laugh because I did that too, and that was listen, people, there's 10 people in here, okay? Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. We all know that. I'm assuming this is the similar audience to you and I. But let's be real. When you're 17 or 18 and there's some fire ass cocaine, That's the coolest thing you ever fucking seen in your life when your name's spelled in cocaine. Just being honest, keeping it 100.
Yeah. I thought I was so cool, dude. You know?
My partner would do that. He was a big time drug man. He would do that, and he would spell your name out. He's like, if you can do it, you can have it. But if you don't, you gotta pay
that's
for it.
exactly what this dude did. That's exactly what this dude would do. Exactly.
Trust and believe. I'm like 8-0 in that. I ain't never bought that one once. But so you made poor decisions early. You're junked out. Alcohol, drugs, meth, coke, heroin, fentanyl, all the things. Rob, lie, steal, cheat. Hopefully not kill, but I'm sure some people have for drugs in here, or they know someone who has. We've done all those terrible things, and then we let that define us for. Some people are letting it define them to this day, and some people have decided, after they got better, they said, hey, I'm not going to let that define me. At what point would you think getting on here, at what point would you think talking into a phone while doing your hair and makeup or walking on a thing and telling your life story on an app that is made for 13-year-old kids to shake their ass and be idiots, could you save someone's life?
I never thought that. I never thought that.
How could you think that? It's insane. You shouldn't do that. That shouldn't exist, but it does, and you're doing it. And why? Because A, you're relatable. B, you're speaking from the heart. And C, you truly care about people you've never met or don't even know exist until they come into your realm and say, hey, just letting you know, that thing you were talking about the other day that was weirdly specific that no one in the world's probably ever done, I've done that, and it made me relate to you. And then I watched your next video on the day that I thought, maybe I'll take a hot shot today because I'm kind of over it. And they don't.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And, okay, so then Micah, boom. Now, Micah, you and Micah, boom, we're big buddies. Woo, look at us. We're doing great. We're back. Yeah. Cool. Okay. That's a one-off. There's like 25 people in the live at the time when that comes on. Okay, one girl, she's helped one girl. Now, here comes Taylor. Who's Taylor? You don't know Taylor. You've never talked to fucking Taylor. What'd she do? Oh my God, thank you so much. I can't believe I got on your live tonight. This is fucking great. You're the best. You fucking literally, you're the reason I'm clean right now. And I feel like I can relate. Are you fucking kidding me, Nicole? What are you talking about? That's insane. So, and I say all that to say this, and I hope you understand the context of what I'm saying. That is a big fucking deal. And I don't know if you read.
It is. It means a lot to me too that I can help people. It really, really does. Like it makes me feel so good that I'm able to. It makes me feel amazing that I'm able to connect with people and they can connect with me in that way. And I honestly never knew that I would ever be able to make a difference. I thought that when I made my YouTube channel back in 2017, 2016, that I would make my YouTube channel, I would find a couple of friends, and I would find some support for myself. You know what I mean? I never thought that I would be able to like really, really make a difference in people's lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's fucking insane. And that's what I'm saying. You have like 150,000 followers just on TikTok over your accounts. That number's nuts. I remember when I got to 1,000, I was blown away. I remember one time I had a video pop with like 3,000 views and like 600 likes. I was like, oh my God. I'm a 37-year-old chubby white guy from Tennessee who's a fucking ex-felon, I'm not ex-felon because you're always a felon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest part of that is, and trust and believe, I'm in the same position. I've talked to like one or two guys who are like, man, just, you just keeping it real and not like bullshitting me. Even if I didn't like hearing it, I needed to hear it. And right. Like, yeah, the fact, I'm sure you know who Mr. Rogers is, right?
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm fascinated by Mr. Rogers, the man. Like the man who played Mr. Rogers. Like I love him. I think it wasn't my favorite show in the world, But even when I was little, I was like, I respect what this guy's doing. You remember he had the black guy come on in the 70s, and they put both their feet in the pool, and like Mr. Rogers is a much bigger thing than what people think he was. But I saw an interview after he got done, and they were like, Mr. Rogers, you've helped millions of kids across the world see that the world is not a mean place, and show that it doesn't matter this and your skin color, or it doesn't matter where you come from, or if you have two moms or all those things. And he was like, how does that make you feel? He's like, I never intended to do that. He said, but if I helped one kid, if I saved one kid's life and made and helped him have a better life than he ever thought was imaginable in 20 years of doing the show, it was worth it. And this is a guy who fucking changed millions of kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? On a direct platform that he had control over, knowing what he was doing. And like I said, we're just two crazy people wilding out on fucking TikTok. So the fact that you have not one, but two girls come on in the space of 30 minutes talking about, hey, I just want you to know, you saved my life. Like that's a big deal. And it's a bigger deal than what you think, because there's more people who are not coming on here saying it. But I also know when people are coming at you negatively, I know how easy it is to focus on that and lose sight of it. But those people don't matter because they're not real. They don't exist. Even if they physically exist in whatever city they're in, they don't exist because they're not making the world better in any capacity. Who cares about them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And you're right. It is that fact that I don't slow down. Like if I would just slow down long enough to like really take in like the positive comments and all the messages I get and the people who reach out to me through email, all the things. It is so much it's so much positivity. It's overwhelming. It's a lot. It's a lot of positivity. We really have such an amazing group here. Overall, within the whole Discovering Nicole across all of my platforms, we have a really good group of positive, uplifting, kind people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I do, and that's what I was like. I got stitched one of your videos last night about the comment. You made a video about the comment about, people used to want to be an AA, NA, and not tell war stories, and your response was like, well, who the fuck in here is in AA or NA? The reason no one wants to go to that now is because of people like you. It runs all over me, because when people try, if you just distill it down, if you boil the whole thing down, all you have to realize is I'm clean because I don't do drugs anymore. Yes, I take subs. I take subs because I can't take pain pills, and if I didn't take subs, I literally could not function throughout the day because of my back and my hip.
Right.
The doctor was like, "Do you want me to put you on a fuck ton of Percocets?" And I was like, "More than anything in this world, I do."
No.
I'm like, "Absolutely,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, give me 300 a month." But
will I live to see tomorrow? Probably not.
but nothing good comes from that because I know where that goes. But you know what? Those are the same people that if the doctor gives it to you, you're okay. No, that's not true either. We know that.
Exactly.
So the fact that I had my wife quit her job 8 months ago, 8 months ago, she stays at home with the dog. She does projects, like she does like furniture stuff. Like she has her little side hustles. The fact that I get up and go to work every day, sometimes 12, 14-hour days, 6, 7 days a week at certain times of the year. I pay all my bills. I don't owe anybody money. I don't lie to people. I do not tell lies anymore. And that was a shock to people when I came home, when they would ask me questions that they didn't want the answer to, and I would tell them the truth, and they didn't like it. But I don't lie anymore because I did it for so long. I said nothing good comes from that. So will I call myself clean? Sure. What if someone doesn't want to call me sober? That's fine. I don't care. Fuck your words.
Right.
But
Right.
if when you and I say, "Hey, you're clean and you're doing good," we don't care that you take some subs, or we don't,
No.
because you're not a
I don't
junkie.
care
You
how
don't
you
have a
get
junkie
sober.
mentality anymore. That's what we're talking about. You're not being a junkie loser boy or a junkie loser girl. You're not selling your ass to get normal. You're not stealing your dad's stuff. You're not. So good for you and whatever. Oh, you smoke some weed, but you don't do heroin anymore? Sorry, you're not clean. Sorry. Fuck you, man. Who are you?
It's about our behaviors. It's about
It's a
our changing
behavior
our
thing. That's
yeah.
all it is.
Changing our behaviors and being better people to like overall to our family, to other people, and feeling on changing on the inside. You know, when I first got sober and I was on Suboxone, I used to be like really against plant medicine because I had always been taught that. I had always been taught that there was one way to get sober, and that was abstinence. And so
We're
when I got
preaching now. We're preaching now.
and
We're
I
going.
was on
Keep going.
subs, and I still felt like that. I was like, but you know what happened to me? In 2020, I joined TikTok, and I saw all these men and women talking about how medical marijuana saved their life. Then in 2021, you guys, I started going through the most debilitating depression of my whole entire life. And my sister gave me a medical marijuana gummy, and I
Talk
took
to him.
that, and it changed my life. Changed my life. It literally lifted this depression that I had been struggling with for like 8 months, dude, and helped. You know, I couldn't believe it. And I would have never even tried that if I hadn't opened my mind and if I hadn't been on TikTok and seen other people like actually having success with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you did was you went against what you thought was the norm. You actually went counter to everything you ever knew because we've been indoctrinated since we were children that all drugs are bad. And if you start smoking weed today, 2 months from now, you'll be sucking dick for crack. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not true. It's not the same. And then when you get into and you start breaking down the why is weed bad? Why is the campaign just say no? When you start breaking all that down and how that started, you see it was started by an old rich guy who was trying to stay rich because hemp was turning into a product that they were making paper out of, they were making clothing out of, they were making rope and cordage out of. But the problem was he owned a bunch of paper plants and mills. So
Right.
he happened to be I can't remember the 5 families who basically ran the United States, like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. He was one of those. And he was like, you know what? We'll put out this PSA about reefer madness. That's what it was called, reefer madness. It showed a giant black guy smoke a joint, and he just grabbed 2 women and raped them on the spot. That's how this whole thing started of why marijuana's bad. Not because it's bad, because it's motivated by money. And then you grow up and you turn into an adult.
By money and fucking racist white people.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm charging my phone. Move. No, baby. Nate. Oh. Go ahead, Nate. Use my phone for a second. 1 second, son. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But it's like and that goes back to me being like, being in jail, sitting around thinking like a yogi the whole time. If you don't sit and actually think about things and realize, I believe this because I know it's true in my heart. And when you start going through every big idea you've had in your entire life since you were a child, even things you don't even think that are put on you by other people. But when you sit back and think, do I truly believe this, or is this something I was just told my whole life so I know it's right or wrong? Then you start to realize, oh, I don't believe that at all. That's not even a real thing. That doesn't even exist. But I've heard my whole life it was this or that. And that's what happens. Especially in this day and age, everything is so fast, especially right now, 2022. But I mean, even like when you're in high school and then you get on dope, you don't have time to think because the dope's on you. But the attention spans are shorter. You have access to more entertainment, even though it's zero calorie even though it's zero beneficial entertainment.
Yeah.
You're just scrolling, flipping apps, Candy Crush, video games, YouTube. So when you start, if you don't slow down enough to realize, oh, you have to think about individual issues and realize that's not that big of a deal. And actually,
give me my phone, Nate. Nate, give me my phone. Why do you need to use my phone? Sorry.
You're fine.
Nate has my phone. It's driving me insane. Okay.
That's okay. Okay, last thing. Here we go.
Last thing. Okay,
I got out of prison on August 6th of 2019, okay? I come home, I'm 182 pounds. I've got 4 abs. I can run 5 miles with no problem. I can do like 65 push-ups. I can squat fucking 315 pounds as many times as I feel like I want to. All those things. Now, it's April 2nd, 2022. I'm 255 pounds. I got a lot more rolls and creases in me than I should, and that's okay. Because why? Going back to Taylor's point, why she's having a hard time with her weight and or losing it. Because her partner loves Taylor for who Taylor is. Not what Taylor looks like, but who she is as a person. I'm in the same exact position. My wife is in the same position. Since I've came home, my wife's put on like 50 pounds because she's safe, happy, comfortable, and stress-free. She needed a Dremel tool today to sand these chairs she's working on. I said, go buy it. Yeah, that's fine. Go buy it. Well, aren't they expensive? I Googled it. They're like $50, $80, $100. Go buy whichever one you want. I don't even care. Okay. She goes and buys it, comes back. Did you find what you need? Yeah, I found this one. How much was it? Just curiosity. Oh, it was like $50. I was like, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna get this one because she's super frugal too. Like if she says she spent $6 on something, trust and believe she spent 2 hours on a way to find one that was $9 to get it to find one for $6. You know what I mean? And I was like, babe, I wouldn't care if you spent $200 on it if it's what you needed to do the thing you want to do. She's like, this is so crazy, and I was like, I know because I knew what she was talking about. I said, I know it's crazy. She was like, I said, it's crazy because I know you used to have to try to lie and justify any purchase you ever made to the dude you used to be with. She's like, I had to do that with my money. Like she used to run a haunt, like a haunted attraction.
that's fucked up, man.
So
Uh huh.
she used to run a
Why is
haunted
it
attraction.
doing this, dude? I'm about.
Do we need to start over?
Do you see this? How close it is on me, y'all?
It's not.
It's driving me insane. Did I hang
your
up?
perception's off of it. You're
Hold
good.
on. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm back. That's better.
So she was with these dudes who were like narcissistic, gaslighting dudes. She would do something completely normal with money she worked hard for to earn, and then they would make her feel like a piece of shit for A, wanting it, B, buying it, and C, bringing it in the house. So she would buy things with her own money and have to sneak stuff in the house and act like, oh, this is some old shit I just found in the back of the closet. I said, I would be more mad at you if you felt you had to sneak something around me than I would if you spent $300 of solely my money. She was like, I know, that's why I love you. And I was like, that's not because of the money, but that's one of the reasons why. And I'm the same way. Now, do I get down on myself about my weight? Yes, because I know where I used to be and where I'm at now.
Right.
But physically, I don't feel good either, and I know that, and that's on me. But this is something
right.
more.
Same here. And I'm the same way, Jarrett. I think I look back and I think about how I used to be, so I know what I'm capable of, and then I also feel like really like I feel stuffy because I have so much weight
You're
in my
carrying.
midsection.
Yep.
That it makes me feel like I'm like choking, like I can't get air. But also what I don't take into consideration is that I'm also 40 years old now, and I'm not going to be able to get back to the way I was when I was 20. You know what I mean? But I can.
You literally just gave me the best segue in the world. So I say all that to say this, and I know, and this is I don't get into the whole equal everything for everybody all the time, but there's a couple of things that we cannot, as a society, overlook. When women are young, they're usually their hottest based off appearances that they'll ever be. Like that's when you have a 21, 22-year-old fucking smoke show hottie. It's just the way life is. But guys, and then as they get older, obviously, like you said, you're 40 now, and I'm 37. It's harder because A, life, B, work, C, stress, to maintain a tight fit bod. But in society, as dudes get older, they get the pass because a lot of dudes start looking their best in their late 30s, 40,
Yeah.
41. Whereas when you see, you can see it in actresses. How many young, hot actresses are there? There's a million. How many 45-year-old actresses are there out there? Not that many. Not hot ones, not Sofia Vergara's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even take that show. You have Sofia Vergara. She's 50 years old. She looks like she's 23. She's a fucking smoke show. And then you have the dad from Married with Children. Come on, man.
Oh my God! You know that's my favorite show.
I
Hey,
know,
you guys.
but
I'm saying
think
hi.
about that.
Sorry about that.
You have Sofia Vergara is a unicorn. You have a better chance of catching a fucking unicorn than seeing another Sofia Vergara at her age that looks like that. She's in her 50s.
Right.
Now. And then you have the dad from Married with Children. And nobody comments on his looks, good or bad. He's just the dad.
Because he's a man. It's different for men.
It's polar opposite. So the same thing. I got married when I was 20 years old because I was about to deploy overseas and I thought I might die. So I was like, look, bitch, we'll get married. In case I die, you have a bunch of money to do a lot of drugs with. Just keeping it real. When she was 5'2", 105 pounds, fat ass, shake her ass all night, do all the coke and drugs with me. Best time ever. Same thing. Come home, we get divorced, shit goes bad. I meet this other girl. I'm 23, she's 21, drop dead gorgeous, smoke show. But now she's the second girl is the daughter of my youngest is the mother of my youngest daughter. She's still pretty, but she's wearing her age. She's had 2 kids, she's had 3 kids, so she's got a little cellulite on the legs, little belly on her, and all that. And she used to be a junkie. So the internal pressure, like you, Taylor, all women feel, and also go back to what you're saying. You did meth and phentermine and all that. Those are drugs that'll keep you skinny because we're not eating nothing because we're not fucking this buzz up at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but now you have safety, security, outer happiness, inner happiness, genuine love, and everything that you never thought was possible. So you've let your guard down and you actually eat like a normal person. And so you carry some weight. Yeah, I get it. And trust and believe, I'm overweight. You feel like you're overweight. The way you feel about it on the inside is much different than the way I feel about it on the inside. Because I guarantee you, when you were fucking 22 years old and blowing rails into cold cocaine, you were a young hot smoke show. And that's just what it is.
Nobody can tell me nothing. Let me just tell you, y'all, I was something else when I was in my young days. And I wish I could go back to those young days and whisper in my ear and go, girl, you're hot. Give yourself some credit, girl. Because back then, I didn't think I was good enough either,
When literally at the time, probably one of the baddest bitches around. But that's the thing. And then also, too, you have to look at when I was 22 years old, even when I was in the Army and in great shape, I couldn't walk up to any girl and be like, hey, you want to go bang in my car right now? They'd be like, fuck off and eat a dick, loser. Now, let's flip to you. And this is the power dynamic, and this is what really blows the equality thing out of the water. You could have walked up to any dude you saw on the street.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And 98% of the guys you talk to, because there'll be a couple older guys or married guys who are head over heels like you and I are now, both in our relationships. But 98% of the guys, you're like, hey, sweetheart, you want to go back here and do something real fucking freaky? And then, maybe go buy me like a Louis bag. And they'd be like, well, if it's good enough, yeah, I'll buy you a Louis bag right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you have the ultimate beauty at a young age, it's so hard to wrap your mind around the fact that I'm not that person anymore, but you've just traded in, and you're still a very pretty girl, but I'm saying you've traded in the outward shallow appearance, love, for the stuff that goes in your heart that makes you the person you are now. But your brain, this is going back to the brain, your brain will fuck you every time. It will betray you every time. Your brain still thinks like, you need to get back to that, because at that point you could do anything, because your brain's always trying to ensure your survival. It wants to give your brain tries to give you every edge on the planet to give you the best life possible. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but it's like, how can I make my body's life the best possible? Well, she can be a fucking smoke show, knockdown, drag out, and be smart. And then we could say, you know what, we're not going to work, and we could have sugar daddies and have guys just give us money, because the brain knows that makes your life easier on your body. So any of you girls out there that are struggling with the whole body image and your appearance and your weight, I believe you and I get it. I'm a big chubby, like, look at this thing, the panza. Like, I mean,
you look great. You are a good-looking guy.
But
Don't
you know what
beat
I'm saying?
yourself
Like,
up
you don't have, looks don't matter, because at the end of the day, they're the first to go. But you have to get your brain you have to get your brain in line with it, because your brain is always, and it's not a bad thing. It's like when, people say you shouldn't fat shame people. Well, if someone that you love and respect is like, hey, bud, you might want to hit the gym, they're not doing it to be ugly, but it is a motivator.
Right. And that's like my dad. He's my motivator. He lets me know, like, Nicole, you can do this. You know what I mean? And he's doing it because he cares about me. He wants to encourage me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But the only reason why I want to lose weight is because I want to feel better. I want to feel better. I want to be able to put on my clothes and feel comfortable in my own clothes. Like, I had a cute outfit on today. I did a fit check and everything for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't felt cute in a long time. I would have felt even cuter if I could have breathed, because I have so much weight in my midsection that it makes me feel clogged up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get that weight in your chest and your diaphragm.
Yes. It's so awful.
Thing is, girls and guys both, but girls especially, it's hard, because every girl I knew who was balls deep in addiction, they were all smoke shows. Now, they might not have been smoke shows after 4 or 5 years of addiction, but like year one, bad. And so your brain's like, let's get back to there. But that doesn't matter. But that gets back into the whole, you got to find the inner peace. And, it's always good to strive and feel better, especially to physically feel better. But mentally, you want to feel good about yourself. But you have to always approach it and look at it with the lens of, I'm better mentally and spiritually now than I was when I was a smoke show.
Yeah.
And would I trade this inner peace and tranquility for a hot bod and then go back to being tortured mentally and spiritually? And you wouldn't. But you have to. It's a hard thing to think of, and it's a hard thing to fucking. It's a hard concept to. And I'm not saying be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want, be 300 pounds, because you won't feel good physically or mentally. But you know what you're capable of, because all your standards are from when you were younger. But keep walking. Keep, if you jog, if you run, if you do 4 squats a day, do 5 tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just as long as you're trying and you're in the right place, fucking go for it.
When I was walking, it makes me feel so much better,
Yes.
It made me feel good. It made me feel positive. It made me feel like I got up and did something.
Because you're doing something. That's the thing, is that it's not about the end results. The whole journey is it's all about the journey. It's the try. It's like, I'll burn 300 calories if I walk. It doesn't matter. But while you're walking for 3 hours, you're like, oh, I can do this. Or if you're jogging, oh, look at me. Huh, I made it. Or, oh, I'm about to quit. We'll just run to this next corner. You get to the next corner, there's so many tricks, good and bad, that your mind will play bad tricks on you, but you can, if you complete a few little tricks on yourself for good, as long as the biggest thing is the try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's all my whole rant. I'm not going to even get into that bish that we were talking about yesterday, because it really makes me mad and bothers me. But we kind of touched on that with the gatekeeping sobriety. But you know, there's like 30 people in here on this live. If you look down on somebody who's doing good, but because they do something that you don't do, but they're still doing really good, don't do that, guys. It's not cool. You're not cool. Because at the end of the day, we all used to be junkie losers. And you can just say it like that. You weren't judging people who were clean smoking weed back then when you were fucking stealing your parents' money out of your mom's purse or your dad's power tools and pawning them or robbing fucking banks. I wasn't judging people about fucking smoking weed then. Don't do it now. Because
period. We just don't need to judge people, period. And we all need to remember that we're all trying to be, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, because I'm in recovery, like, I'm trying to be a better person, period. Like, I'm trying to be a better version of myself every single day. So, like, yesterday, I'm trying to be better today than I was yesterday. And I don't understand, and I cannot even get down with people who, like, actively try to, like, hurt or harm or downgrade other people. I can't even imagine, like, saying something ugly to Jarrett and saying, you're such a loser, piece of shit, fat ass motherfucking bitch. Yeah. Like, I can't even imagine that. Why would I say that? Because you know why people do that? Because they feel like shit in the inside. Right. They feel like that about themselves, and they're projecting that onto you.
They've searched themselves and found themselves lacking. That's why they do it. And the only way they can compensate for it is to tear other people down to their level.
Right.
And you know why you can't imagine saying something like that to me or anybody else? Because that's not who you are. You can't imagine it because it's so foreign. It's literally an alien idea. You can't even comprehend. Like you said, you get on here talking about me and be like, damn, Nicole, you've been fucking back up from the table a little bit. Like, why would I do that? But you know why people do that? Because they're shallow and they've never done anything good in their life. That's it. If you've never done anything good in your life and you've never tried to be a better person, like you said, if you're not better today than you were yesterday, it's either A, because you didn't try, or B, because you made some bad choices today. But the good thing about it is you can try again tomorrow. And as long as you're striving, like I said, it's the journey. At the end of the day, we'll all be very lucky if when we die, there's more people who think we made their lives better for knowing us than people who don't think that way.
I hope that when I die, people will be able to say, like, I know they will. I know they will. Like, I know they will.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? When I met Nicole, she was kind to me. She was loving. She didn't judge me. She offered me a hand to help me. Like, I hope people will feel like that. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to do every single day. Because I would hope that somebody would be like that for me. If I relapse tomorrow, I would hope that I could come on here and say, you guys, I'm struggling. I relapsed and I need help. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. I saw a video the other day of a girl who relapsed. And when I say she's in the recovery community, I don't know her name. Honestly.
Brittany?
Okay. Maybe blonde-headed girl.
Oh, I don't know if she's blonde-headed, but one of the girls, Brittany, had relapsed recently, and you would think she would be getting all this support. People were being so mean. I thought this was a recovery page. How could you do that to somebody when they're struggling?
That's the same girl because I saw that. Okay. It was, I'm not even kidding you. It was a fucking elephant who had got both its front legs broken. And nothing but 6,000 hyenas just ripping it apart while it was still alive.
Yeah.
It disgusts me. And I'm going to keep it all the way 100. I don't like your page. You promote and push recovery and helping people. And I fucking love it. But that's why I don't get involved in that whole thing. Because I can't do it. Because that made me so sick to see that young girl who's been doing really good. And either she, did some drugs or she drank some alcohol, whatever her vice was, she went back to it. And she had the balls. Do you know how much courage it takes to get on the fucking internet? And when all your internet friends are people who are former drug addicts to come on and say, hey guys, I love you all enough. I love and respect you all so much that I'm going to tell you that I came up short. And I'm sorry. And I want to do better. and that's not who I am, but I want to be truthful because that's where we're at. I would never fucking say it. If I, like right now, if we got off here and I went upstairs and there's fucking cocaine that said Jarrett and I did it, I would never get on here and say, damn, Nicole, you won't even believe what I did last night. I fucked up, but it was, no, because I know I'd have shitholes coming out of the woodwork being like, you're the biggest trash can ever. And I'm not
And
even, I
that's
don't
such a
never talk
shame.
about recovery. I
It's
never
such a
talk
shame.
about it.
It's like our very own people will be the
They're
first
worst.
people to rip us apart. And that's so true. So true. It's, we are, look at me. We're supposed to be here to encourage each other and lift each other up. And I never thought in a million years that I would be defending myself against my own community. But honey,
Shit.
they are the sickest. And the reason why is because there are so many people within our community who have just stopped using drugs,
Yep.
and that's it. They haven't worked on healing or being better on the inside. They just quit using drugs. That's it.
And I'm telling you, it's cutthroat and it's nasty and it's fake as fuck, honestly. So I don't bring it up and I don't care. If like I follow this one girl, I can't think of her name. Oh God. Reeling for Recovery, but I think she changed it like OG Raptor Recovery or something. She's the best. But really all she does is get on and make like positive talks, and then she likes to dance a lot, and she's still like she's a smoke show. So like she's kept it together after she got clean, and she likes to, shake her butt and be like, woo, I'm doing great, love you guys. And that's cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And she and I, when I first started following her and she followed me like a year and a half ago, we kind of had we bumped heads a little bit because I'm not, God, how the fuck do I say this without sounding like a condescending asshole? Some people, fuck, I'm going to say it and you can tell me if it sounds like shit and then we can discuss it, how I should say it different. Some people need a hard date of the last day they did drugs. And with that date, they say, today I'm 1 day clean. Today I'm 2 day clean. And then fast forward. Today I'm 67 days clean from drugs and alcohol, and I'm doing great. And they have the chips from NA or AA, and they have their journals, and they've worked all the steps. And I think that's fantastic. I do. If you're doing that, please don't fucking stop doing it. I think it is fantastic. And this is literally for me only, one of the biggest dummies I know, and it's me, but this is how I feel. And the only rule we have in my house with me and my wife is, you can't tell me how I feel. And she says it when I'm giving her a hard time about something silly. She's like, you can't tell me how I feel. So that's the rule in our house. No one gets to tell anyone how they feel. So I don't feel like I need to say, I've been clean since January 10th, 2010. I have 12 years.
That's okay. There's some people that don't do that. That's okay.
And I don't do that. And that's fine. And if you do that, and that's fantastic too. You know why? Because this is something I learned about being off drugs and alcohol. My journey is not the same as your journey. And that's okay. Because just because I didn't get the journal and do the 12 steps and write them down and go to 2 meetings a week and voice step, that doesn't mean that if you did, you're any better or any worse than me. Because that's what you need. All I give a fuck about is, if you're clean, are you clean and are you happy and is your life better? I don't care. I don't give a fuck how you got there. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Josh just came in and said he relapsed. You just relapsed. Hey, Josh, what's up, man? You're not alone. You're welcome here to hang out with us. We ain't gonna judge you.
Talk to us, Josh. What's going on, bud? What are we doing here?
We ain't gonna judge you.
I don't give a fuck, Josh. Honestly, I mean, I don't say that in an unloving way. I say that in the, bro, you fucked up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Imagine this, and this is why I say my recovery is different than your recovery, different than Josh's recovery, different than Taylor's and Micah's. What the? Answer me this. This is an actual question. Answer me this, Nicole.
Okay.
What the fuck would I look like in this conversation between me and you on TikTok Live? What the fuck would I look like getting on here and say, Josh, you fucking trash bag because you did some drugs today?
Right.
That's pathetic.
You would look like an asshole.
Let's zoom the camera. Let's zoom the camera out a little bit and say, oh, well, the guy who said I'm an asshole because I did drugs today, isn't this the same guy who left his 18-month-old baby at home? With his fiance and went robbed a bank to support his drug habit. She didn't even know what was happening. In prison for a decade. Who the?
You got on Matt, Josh? That's awesome. We're proud of you, dude. Good job.
Good job. What is Matt?
Medication-assisted treatment, Suboxone.
Okay. I didn't even know that. I didn't know the term Matt.
What do you call it? Just sub-treatment?
I just say I go to the doctor and I don't do drugs. That's all I say. I don't know.
So for those of you guys that don't know, Jarrett went to prison for 9.5 years for robbing a bank. And he just got out recently. When did you get out? 2019, 2020? Yeah. He just got out. That 2.5 years ago is not a long time at all.
No, I'm still on probation.
For as long as you were. You know?
Okay. So let's use this as a transition. Josh, chime in. If you have any questions or, you just need to speak to get it, because I know sometimes you just have to say things out loud to get it off of you. Honestly, saying things out loud is probably the greatest thing in the world you can do for me.
I think so too. Processing it.
Just getting it from inside your body, and when you speak it, it just gets out of you. It's so good. So listen.
It's called snitching on your addiction.
Okay. See, you got all the terms. I don't know none of
I made that up.
So
I made that up a long time ago. I call it snitching on your addiction.
So you were doing the
okay.
You were talking about the precipitated withdrawals earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you this story. It's fantastic. I'm sure my partner wouldn't care. I call him my brother. We're not actually related, but he refers to me as his brother, and I do the same. We're just going to call him Danny, okay?
Okay.
So I used to work with Danny a couple years ago. He had a business, and I would come work with him occasionally. I had my construction business after I got out. He had his irrigation business. I was a one-man crew. I had my own schedule. I was my own boss. On days that I wasn't working, he would occasionally call me and be like, hey, would you care to come help me today, just as a laborer, right? I'm like, well, I kind of got my own thing going, but if you need help, I'll do it. He's like, well, I'll pay you $200 in cash. I'm like, well, fuck, I'll see you there. You know what I mean? For a day.
Yeah.
$200 a day in cash. To dig holes and rake dirt. Nothing brain busting. And it wasn't even hard. It wasn't like building a house or framing or roofing. It wasn't hard. So I go work with him. He was working with his brother. He was working with his brother for a while. He split to go do his own thing, right? So Danny and his wife were doing their own business in the same field that he was working in, irrigation. So, okay, great. So now I'm working with Danny's brother, who's like my brother-in-law. I'm working with him sometimes. Now I'm his full-time partner. Now Danny and his old lady, they're killing the game. But Danny has had like this running drug addiction for a long time that was on and off, right? He wouldn't process it. It would be once he fucked up so bad and everything fell apart around him, he would quit using drugs because his wife was about to leave him. He would lose his house, his kids, all that. So they leave. Well, he had relapsed, and his old lady started going to work with him every day. She would just sit in the truck and play games. She would basically babysit him on the job site. But, this dude would work 25/8. I mean, he'll work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. He just works. That's his whole identity. He loves it, but he likes the money too. So now, he does that for about a year. They're wildly successful. He had bought another truck, so he's got 2 or 3 work trucks. He's probably got $40,000 in tools. He's got a house. He's got 2 stepkids that he's about to adopt with his wife. He's about to adopt his wife's kids, all this. His wife's crazy. Just, those crazy wild girls, that's her. I mean, I'm not saying it in a derogatory way. She's just a wild bitch. Like, we would be on a job site we'd be in a neighborhood with $3 million houses, and she would get out of the truck and just start fucking screaming, "You stupid bitch, you don't ever listen to me."
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
So I'm like,
right, just no. balls to the wall.
So one day, Danny was with his brother, and they were going to go look at buying another work truck. This is what precipitated them breaking up the business and him going on his own. Well, he was supposed to go play. It was a Sunday, but like I said, he works 24/7. He was supposed to go with his wife to play Pokemon Go and drive around playing Pokemon Go. Well, now he's got to go look at the work truck, and she don't like that. They get in a big, huge fight. His brother was like, "Yo, bro, she can't be on the job anymore because this don't work." So they left. Boom. Now, after about a year of him doing his own thing, I guess they were kind of in an open relationship in the sense like they would have like threesomes, but it would be with like two dudes and her. So she ran this whole scenario of she picked this huge fight while he was driving the truck one day, and he was like, "What are you talking about? What's happening?" And she just kept escalating and escalating and escalating. And he was driving. He was like, "Babe, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I've done, but whatever I did, I'm sorry." And I know this because I've talked to him individually after the fact. Well, she turns in the truck and kicks him in the side of the face while he's driving the truck.
Oh no.
So he goes, "Wabba!" Right? Like and this guy's 140, he's like 5'8", 140 pounds. So he hits her with the backhand. So yes, he did hit his wife after she kicked him in the face. He left. They got where they're going. He left. She called the cops, got him arrested on a Friday. I went to bond him out at midnight on Friday, but he couldn't bond out because he had a domestic violence charge and he had to see the judge on Monday. By the time I got him out on Monday, got him arrested, put a restraining order on him, put eight addresses that he was not allowed to go within 1,000 yards of on him, one being his home address, taken both his work trucks, $50,000 worth of tools, closed out 20 grand in the bank accounts, and he wasn't allowed to go home. When I picked him up from jail, he had $3, no phone, no car, no money, no clothes, no nothing, right? So now, mind you, I told you the guy I'm working with at the time is his actual brother. He calls me, "Hey man, this is what's going on with Danny. Are we going to let him come back and work with us?" Absolutely, we are. That's our bro. He's a good guy. We know he didn't do nothing wrong in this instance. Not saying he was an angel, but at this point he wasn't at fault this time. She got him for almost 100 grand worth of stuff between cash, cars, and homes. He comes back to work with us, works with us for about 5 months. He's telling me he's clean, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, because we have an extra bedroom. I said, "Okay, Danny, you can live in my extra bedroom. You're cool." At the time, my wife's son, who's like 22, him and his girlfriend are staying here, and then we got this guy on the couch. They move out. He moves into the extra bedroom, get himself together, but I know he's using. I can tell. I pick up on it. I see it. You're not that slick, homie. I did dope for fucking 10 years. You're not that slick. But he's swearing up and down to me. He's good. He's clean. Everything's fine. Now, he's doing all the right things, but I also know he's using. But it's not outwardly apparent to anybody else. We do a big job on a local high school, and I went on vacation with my wife. It's a family vacation with my mom and my dad and their friends every year. I was like, I have to go out of town, watch the house for a week, whatever. I get a call from the guy we're working with. He was like, "Dude, Danny's out here with his fucking shirt off, screaming into the phone. It's like 60 degrees. He's pouring sweat." I call him. I said, "Hey, man, I'm not saying anything about what you're doing. If you're doing dope, whatever. If you are, we'll address it. If you're not, we'll address it." I said, "Go get in the truck, roll the windows up, and shut the fuck up. You're about to cost us $40,000. Shut up." "No, man, I swear to God, I'm not using." This guy called and threatened me. I said, Danny, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad, or I'm not asking for a reason. But you have to shut the fuck up. stop screaming. And there's little kids playing on the high school football field like 200 yards away. So that people are starting to look. Shut up. No, man, I swear I'm not doing drugs. Once again, Danny, I didn't say anything about drugs. Shut the fuck up, right? So we come back home. Everything's cool. About a month later, he shows up on the job with me. I mean, he's living in my house, but if someone's living with you, but you have them in a bedroom, they'll fucking lay in the bed with the door closed. When I used to stay with people, I would stay all the way out of the way, because the more people see you when you're staying with them, the faster they'll kick you the fuck out of the house. You know what I mean?
I know. Listen, I was the same way. Me and my husband, we roommated up with this guy, and we would always make sure that we were in bed, door closed, by the time he would get home, so we didn't bother him at all.
So he feels like he's at home by himself, because when you inconvenience someone, that's when they'll start kicking you out.
Yeah.
So a couple months go by like that or whatever.
We're just in here talking.
Yeah, people. So one day, this is so funny, like, one day, I'm sitting on the couch in the living room watching TV. I know he's in the bedroom, and the door's closed, and I'm like, cool, man, no problem, don't worry about it. I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter, He texts me. You ever get a text that's like fucking 17 paragraphs long?
Yes.
Okay, so he texts me.
Thank you, Havana. Love you, girl.
It's not actually like that long, but it's probably 2 paragraphs. Oh, bro, I'm so sorry, man. Listen, I've been lying to you this whole time. I've been using. I'm sorry, man. And I love you, and I just didn't want to disappoint you. That whole thing. And so as I'm reading it, I'm like, something bad's happening for him to just come out of nowhere and say this, right? So, and this literally ties in directly to what you were saying about dope. So he's like, I'm so sorry, man, and please don't kick me out, man. I love you, and I would never do anything. And I'm like, what's wrong? I literally just 15 lines of all that. I literally just text back, what's wrong?
Yeah.
My wife had went to do something. Now I had my suspicions that he was using. She had her suspicions, but we didn't really discuss it, and we never talked about, well, if he's using, what do we do? Do we kick him out? What? He texts back, I've been lying to you this whole time, man. I've been using the whole time I've been here. I've been doing like half an 8-ball a day of heroin, and I've been slamming it, and I just fucked up real bad, man. So now I'm on my couch. Now I get up and I walk in the bedroom. He has like a twin size mattress, but he's put it on the floor, and he's in the fetal position.
Shaking like a leaf, huh?
Danny, what did you do? Man, I've been shooting 2 grams of H a day, but I think it's all fentanyl, and I wanted to do better because today's my kid's birthday, man. He's one of those like real emotional bitch, like he's a super beta, like bitch shit, like, and he's like, man, and I just wanted to be better, man. And I'm like, what did you do? What kind of dope is this? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
He was like, well, anytime I've ever used in the past, man, I would just take subs and I would be fine. I said, no, you stupid bitch. You ain't even been doing heroin. Every heroin in my city is fucking 88% fentanyl, you dumb bitch. You have put yourself in precipitated withdrawals. This is so, I'll never forget. Yep. He was like, precipitated. What? I was like, you dumb bitch. You can't be here.
That's why he was shaking like that. That's why he was shaking. It'll make you shake. Yeah, Jen, I'm in Arkansas.
So imagine this. Hi. Imagine trying to explain to a guy who didn't even know what precipitated withdrawals was, that not only have you done something yourself that you didn't even know existed, you've taken the first 4 days of detoxing naturally and crammed it into fucking 20 minutes. And that's why you're fucking dying, you idiot. Yep. And he was like, but I didn't know. I said, so when you fucked up so bad you had to tell me, you probably should have told me before you did it, because A, I'm not going to judge you because I don't fucking care because you're my brother. But B, we could have avoided all this. And I was like, but here's the problem. Yeah.
Do you know how hard? Do you know how it is whenever you relapse?
Oh, you can't admit
and
it. No, no, no.
so ashamed?
You would never admit it because of the shame. I wouldn't have either. I'm just, I'm just saying that shit to him. But I'm not being ugly about it. I'm just like, dude, you've put us both in a bad position because I don't lie to my wife. I don't do that.
Yeah.
So now I said, Danny, you're lucky she's not here, because if she was here, we would both be dead. And that's your fault. But she's not. I said, well, here's the thing. I can't get you to where you need to be because I don't have the stuff to bring you back from where you are. I don't know anybody to call to get dope. I don't know any drug dealers. I don't know any junkies. I don't, because when you stop using, you have to, you can't associate with those people. And he was like, call my sister. Give me your phone. I call his sister. I said, hey, this is what your brother's done. He's put himself in precipitated withdrawals, which she didn't know what it was. She kind of did, but she didn't really. I explained it to her. She was like, oh, I had a friend who did that. I know how to bring him back. His sister is a big time H user with the darts. I call them darts. You know what the darts are?
Yeah. You know what I always tell people when they go to that point? I tell them, might as well not turn back now. Let's get through it and just get off of everything. Get on your subs and get through it. And I'll sit there and I'll cheer them through it, and I'll help them through their precipitated withdrawal, literally staying on the phone with them while they're crying and shaking and throwing up and puking to make them stay, because I don't want them to go fentanyl or H. I want them to make it. You know what I mean? So I'll cheer them on. Come on, let's stick with it. Let's stick with it. It's hard. Some people don't want to, but I try to cheer them on to stay with it, you know?
So that's where I'm at. But I'm like, bro, I can't bring this to, I can't tell my wife about this because, and actually after I talked to her after the fact, she was cool with it. She was like, I would have been fine. But I didn't know that, and I didn't want to put that on her. But B, he's a mentally weak guy. And so he's
right. I know what you mean.
He's not seeing it as, fuck it, I'm here now, let's keep going. I said, dude, we have to get you somewhere to get you through this. So I take him to his sister's house, which is about 20 minutes away. 10 minutes into the ride, he's sitting over there wheezing like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. We have to call 911. I said, bitch, we're not calling 911. I'm on federal probation. You'll be fine. But if you call 911 because you're being a bitch, we're both going to jail, and I can't go to jail because you think she would have killed us about this. If I go to jail, she's killing everybody. And he's like, but I'm going to shit myself. I'm going to shit myself. I said, you might shit yourself, and that's fine. Shit yourself in the car.
Yeah, you will. If you're in precipitated withdrawal, it's coming out of both ends.
Of course, I said,
fast,
by all means, shit all over yourself. I don't care. But we're not calling 911 because they can't do nothing for you. I get him to his sister's. I'm like, Daniel, here's your stuff. Take your phone. Here, go. Get the fuck out. Call me tomorrow, because I know his sister's going to, she's going to hit him with little shots of dope throughout the night, bring him back. I already know. So.
Can y'all hear Jarrett? I can't hear him at all.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. There you are. Okay. Never mind.
So he goes through. So I get him out of the car. He goes to his sister's house. He has like a really bad, like 32 hours, right? Now, the next day, when he wakes up, calls me back. I'm so sorry, man. I'll get my stuff. I said, you don't have to do that, bud. I love you. You just fucked up, and that's fine. But now that we're both being honest with each other, what do you want to do? I want to get better. Here's my doctor's number. Actually, let me call him for you, and I'll tell him, who this is, who you are, what's going on, and we'll get you through this. Hadn't touched dope since, and it's been almost 6 months. They had to put him on Subutex for the first 5 days because it doesn't kick you into the precipitated withdrawals like the Suboxone does. But he's doing fantastic. But I was like, when he did that, I was like, bro, you don't even know this thing exists, and you dove in head first to the deep end. Oh, and I love him to death, but
that's awesome though that you were able to. You hooked him up with your doctor, though. You helped save his life.
Absolutely. He tells me that all the time. Like, we work together all the time. I told him, like, he
Doesn't it feel crazy when somebody tells you that you help save their life? Doesn't it feel, for me, I'll never, ever, people say that to me. I feel like It just makes my heart feel so full. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so grateful that I could even be able to share my story to even halfway help somebody.
Well, imagine how big of a deal that is. That's insane. That's literally like this person was not going to be on this planet, but because they know you, they are. That's nuts. So he's doing good. He's got his own business going again. He's making a fuck ton of money. Life's great for him, you know, and everything's great. So
Jarrett, wherever you are, it kicked me off. Come back. He'll come back. We're just literally sitting here talking and talking to y'all. It's just my phone was messing up. Sorry about that. It is no joke. It is definitely no joke. He'll be back. That's my friend Jarrett. He, like I said, he robbed a bank and he got out of prison in 2019 and he is on. Yeah, I know. Come on. Here you go. I'm sending you another invite, fool. But like this week, I was having a hard time and I texted him because I was depressed, man. My feelings were hurt. It sucks whenever you're like literally trying to help people online and you wake up to like people making videos about you and then you see people making like assumptions and horrible comments that are like just not even halfway even true, and it hurt me. So I texted him yesterday and because I was upset, and he was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you even tripping, man? You're like on another level, you're winning. And I was like,
facts.
thanks, man. Thank you. I didn't, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to hear it from somebody
You
else.
got to hear it. Like I said, you got to say it out loud. You got to say, well, I'm tripping because this lame is making videos about me. And then when your mouth says it, but your ears hear it, you're like, what the fuck did I just say?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
letting a loser dictate my emotional happiness. Ugh, yuck. And then you have somebody who you trust say, you know you're fucking up, right? And you're like, God damn it, I knew I was fucking up. God damn it. I wish you wouldn't. Fuck you. Yeah, I know. Fuck you.
Yeah, I let my feelings it hurt too easily.
But it
And I
does.
mean,
You're coming from
a
a
lot
pure.
of it is because I'm insecure. You know what I'm saying? But I'm working on that. I'm working on my securities. Like today, I literally, that fit check I did for you guys today, that is out of my comfort zone. Showing my whole body and showing y'all my outfit and everything, like that was really out of my comfort zone. But you guys loved it. Like that fit check is got 2,500 views on it, and that's not normal. Like I've never done that kind of video, but y'all are all commenting and letting me know that I look nice and that you like my makeup look, and I was like, damn, dude, I need to do a fit check every day then.
I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm telling you right now what I'm gonna do, but you're gonna forget because I'm gonna do it at such a pace that will make you forget. But at some point, with you and I being friends and talking and texting now, I'm gonna be like, hey, what's your address? Just so I got a guy who wants to send you some recovery shit, and I'll throw in some bullshit in the box and everything, and send you something. You'd be like, oh, this is so cool, great. And then like 6 months from now, that picture you sent me when I was like, hey sis, what are you doing? That fucking picture you sent me, Nicole, I swear, it literally sums you up to a T. The smile was genuine. You were feeling yourself. You were happy. You were like so one day you're gonna get like a fucking Xerox tube, right? You're gonna be like, who sends this shit? What is the fuck? Is this building plans? And you're gonna open it, and I'm gonna send you a fucking poster of that picture right there, and it'd be like, this is you. And anytime you feel like this isn't you, look at this and know, oh, that's me. And anybody who says anything that doesn't make me feel like this picture right here, I'm not talking to them ever again.
Yeah.
Because you were having a good day. You were doing your walk. You had your fucking blue chromey flake glitter things on. You had a cute shirt
I
on.
know.
You were
I
smiling.
love those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you could tell it was taken from a place of, I'm doing really good right now and I'm happy. And I'm telling you, man, a lot of people, they don't ever have, and I'm telling you, man, a lot of people, they don't ever have, and that's what's sad too, is like, you fucking rock and you're killing the shit. And you're matter and you're special. And just, and like there's a lot of people in general who have that. And there's a lot of women who have that, but I know so many guys who have never heard that said to them, that if you say, you say something like that to a guy who's genuinely trying, like, it fucks them up. They're like, dude, don't, why would you say that to me? And I'm like, because you matter, man, and you're special and you're important and you matter. And they're like, fuck, what? Fuck you, get out of here. But on the inside, they're like, thanks, man. Because sometimes it just takes one person. You know exactly who you are and what you are, but you'll let the noise distract you enough to where you lose sight of it. And just one random person be like, you know what? You rock, and I think you're special. Have a great day. And you're like, what?
Yeah, totally. Totally. Did you see this comment that Kelly said? She said, knowing your worth and keeping company who only encourages you, not discourages you.
I mean,
And Havana says, you are only hated by some, loved by more, because you're kind, intelligent, and beautiful. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
I'm telling you, and if you're doing something, like, you have a purpose, like, I get on this app and just rant and bitch and moan about politics. I don't really have a purpose on here. And occasionally,
Why talk about politics? Do not do that.
I know, but it makes me crazy. And occasionally I'll get a new pair of shoes, because I used to be real big into the shoe game, the reselling, like, there was a pair of shoes that came out today and I didn't get them, and it fucking broke my heart. But I knew I wasn't going to get them, but it's still, I really wanted them, because I wear my shit. I got a buddy.
Then go get them. Go treat yourself. You're doing really good in your recovery. I mean, you've been out of prison for almost 3 years now. You're doing really good. You haven't got no trouble. You're staying sober.
I'm also too right now. I'm not in a place where I can drop $600 on a pair of fucking tennis shoes.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me they cost $600 now. I was thinking $100 tops.
Yeah, Holy if I would have got them, if I would have got them today when they came out, if I would have got them on the drop, I would have got them for like $210, and that would have been fine. I can swing that, but the resale on them is like $600 right now. I'll get them eventually. I'm in a shoe group that does like raffles and like lottery picks, like stuff like that. But I'll get them. I'm not worried about it. But occasionally I'll do like a TikTok with shoes and be like, look at these.
What kind of shoes are they? Tell me what kind of shoes you like.
The ones that I love Jordans. I love Jordan 1s are my favorite. Jordan 1 highs are my favorite shoes. They're the least comfortable shoes I've ever worn, but they're the best looking shoes ever. Like, hold on.
Okay, yeah, show us. I want to know. Hey, Jason, what's up, baby?
I'm not even gonna start with the heat. Okay, this is a Jordan 1 mid.
Oh, those are cute.
I don't wear mids, but this shoe only came out in a mid. See how it's black and white, but it's actually like black and carbon fiber. You see that?
Yeah.
It's the shoe that Jordan made for the 2021 All-Star game.
Oh, did he leave us? Oh, there he is. Oh. Okay, you're back.
No, I'm sorry. I had the 10%. These only came out in a mid because they're made for the All-Star game. This is what got me into shoes.
Ooh, I like purple.
Purple's my favorite color. I've never had,
no way.
Had one pair of Jordans.
Wait a second.
Yeah, of course.
It's my favorite color too.
Well, yeah, of course, because we're fucking normal, amazing people.
When is your birthday? When is your birthday?
July 23rd.
Okay, you're a Cancer?
Leo, I'm the last day or the first day.
Okay, I'm a Pisces.
So, when I came out of prison, obviously I didn't have cool shoes for 10 years in prison. I came out of prison, the place where my wife was working, she went to school with the guy who owns it. The guy who owns its son, who's like in his early 20s, is a giant sneakerhead. This kid's like 23. He has $80,000 worth of shoes. 20s is a giant sneakerhead. This kid's like 23. He has $80,000 worth of shoes at his house. He has his head screwed on better than 10 people that I know combined. He's 23. He had these. I'm like, look at him, like, oh my God. When I say I would get on the internet and look at these shoes every day for 6 months, knowing I couldn't afford them because I had a shit job, just came home from prison, knowing money's tight, knowing all that thing. I got out in August, my birthday in July, 11 months later, I opened my birthday present. My wife bought me these for $320.
Aww.
When I say the act of it, because I knew, because we shared the bills and all that, I was like, you've been saving up like $40 a month for fucking 10 months. She was like, yeah. So, but then I started doing good. And she was like, hey, you did great in prison. Take off. I said, okay. So this is probably my favorite one. It's like on this side it's black and red, on this side it's white and red, on the front it's
That's cool.
I got these from a little 19-year-old hustler kid out of Oklahoma. He's trying to put himself through school and he's selling shoes to do it. Thought it was fantastic. Let's see. There's a terrible story behind these. So these are black and gold.
Ooh, I like those. Those are my favorite so far, I think.
They're patent leather. I bought these because I got in this program called Till Valhalla Project. It's for veterans who either killed or kill themselves. And this company makes these wooden plaques with pictures on them, engraved. Like, it's gorgeous. When my best friend died out of the blue because my name is K-Dub, like, what is it? 027, yeah.
27, 2020.
So 27-2020. He died on February 7th, 27 of 2020 out of the blue. Like, just dropped dead. No one expected it. I literally cry probably 3 or 4 times a week. It's been 2 years and it guts me. So they have this program for veterans who kill themselves or get killed, where if a child service member dies or kills themselves, somebody will submit a thing to them. They make this wooden plaque with these beautiful pictures on them that you send in with this whole storyline. And you put on a Till Valhalla Project shirt, and it has like this big box with like all these things in it that just say, hey, your kid was important, and I'm sorry they lost their struggle with what they were going through. So if you enroll in the program, you walk up to a stranger's door, knock on the door, and say, hi, ma'am, just want you to know your child was important and they matter, and we made this for you. And you give them this plaque of this fucking, it's gut-wrenching. I haven't had to do it yet. I hope I never do, because it makes me cry thinking about it. But the t-shirts are black and gold, so I bought these because I'm kind of an asshole for myself, but they're also very cool. Let's see.
I like those.
Oh, these are actually girl shoes right here. These are black and silver toes.
Oh, I like those.
This is a woman's Jordan, but I got it in my size. Women's 12 is a 10.5 in men's. But this is the best looking shoe I've ever seen in my life. The most uncomfortable. All those shoes are the same, but they all feel different on the feet. But I mean, are you kidding me?
Ooh, I like that color.
Are you fucking kidding me? Look, oh my God, are you joking? Look at that.
That's periwinkle. Is that periwinkle or light blue?
Both. It's pretty much the same.
It's cool.
It's Carolina blue because, Jordan went to University of North Carolina. Those shoes were $600. I got them for $80 in a raffle.
Oh wow, damn, dude.
So yeah, so that's what I like to do, but I don't even know how we got there. I was just happy you let me show you my shoes.
I don't either, but that's okay.
So prison stories. We can get into them. I got some good ones. We've been talking for a while, but I'm wide open right now. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm good.
Well, I'm fixing. I want to stay on for a little bit longer, but then I'm going to go lay down. I do want us to tell. Okay, I want to stay on long enough for you to tell us a good story about one of the wildest experience, one of the craziest, or maybe scariest, or maybe wildest things that happened while you were in the prison for 9.5 years. Like, did you see some? Like, I know you got something good to tell us. Tell us a good story, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and we'll do it again tomorrow. We're just cool like that.
Sorry.
Y'all better be
all right.
prepared.
I think we can keep it short enough to where it makes sense, but we kind of hit all the high notes in one. So.
Hey, before you start or anything, I want to say one thing. Thank you for being my friend and helping to lift me up. I really appreciate it a lot. I really do.
Absolutely. Okay. That's all we got. You got to have it.
Oh, Debbie wants to know, what drugs were you on when you robbed the bank?
Pain pills, Roxy 30s, because I couldn't find OCs anymore. This was in 2010. They had switched from the OCs to the OPs. You remember when they used to have the OC 80s or OC anythings, and then they switched to like a weird shaped one.
Yep.
And then they switched to like the OPs. I'm talking about what they said on the pill, not, it said OP 80.
Yeah, I remember.
I did those the whole time, but then probably in like 2009, like you just couldn't find OCs anymore. So it all became Roxy's, and I never really liked Roxy's, but I
that was
knew,
my favorite. Those are my favorite.
well, I knew that they were consistent, like, because I didn't want to have to be like, well, what's this new OC version of whatever? And now I have, but Roxy's were always the same. Just to give you a little context, I had started using again about 2.5 months before I got arrested, before I robbed the bank. I'd started using, it was only 2 or 3 months, but it's probably 3 months before I got arrested. And that's how fast my addiction progressed, to where I wasn't paying any bills or anything for almost 2 months. And nobody knew that I was, doing bad, because I was still going to work every day, still doing the right thing. But nobody knew I was using again because I was doing it sneaky. So then the first time, I robbed the bank the first time on June 1st, 2010. I ran into the plug at the gas station later that afternoon. I hadn't seen the plug in fucking 13 years. He had just got out of prison like 6 months before that for robbing a pharmacy 13 years ago. So that's like the fates lined me up to run into this guy to put me down in a deeper hole, to where I could appreciate it when I got out of that hole. It's such a crazy story that it's so intertwined. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why did I run into the guy who was the plug and who would sell me pills for half of the retail price? And I hadn't seen him in 15 years on the same day I robbed a fucking bank.
Right.
Why would I run into him? What are the chances at a gas station? What are the chances? But it's all part of the greater good and the path to get where you're going. So I meet that guy on the 1st. Hey man, what's up? How you been? I'm good. How you been? What do you do for work now? He says, oh, work? I said, yeah, what do you do for work? Oh, I sell drugs. That's weird. What kind of drugs do you sell? Oh, I sell Roxy's. Oh, that's weird. I buy them. And he's like, okay, cool. I'm like, well, how much do you sell them for? He's like, how many do you want? I said, well, what if I spent $300? He said, I'd sell them to you for like $13 a piece. Oh, well, that's cool, because they go for 25. So let me buy as much money as I got right now and call my guy who needs them on the plug, and then I can split the profit with him 50-50, and he gets his shit for a better price, and I get more free dope. So when I say I robbed a bank, I kind of glossed over this the first time, I think. So on June 1st, I robbed a bank, right? I go in, I got a little S10. I take the license plate off of it, got a mask on. I go in, give me all the money, run out, take off, drive down the road into the woods, hop out, put my license plate back on, take all the clothes I had on off, throw them in the woods, drive away. Got like $6,000, right? Run into that guy that day. On June 10th, now this is where it gets weird and people start laughing at me. On June 10th, I robbed the same bank again.
That's what I think is crazy.
That's insane. And people are like, why would you rob the same bank again? Well, that's easy, because I know the exact security procedures they have from the first time. It doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. You know what I mean? Because when I walked in on the 10th, everybody in there was like this. What the fuck? We just had this happen. And I'm like, cool, man, give me the money. But I took a gun that time, so that's where all my time came from. But first to the 10th, I paid all my bills that were past due, right? Because I didn't want to leave my people, my family, my wife, my fiance, my daughter fucked up. Paid all the bills and everything. I probably had like $4,000 left. And I was middlemaning dope for my buddy who was a dope dealer, making a fuck ton of money doing that, but buying dope. I was doing between 30 and 35 Roxy's a day, Roxy 30s.
Yep.
Because every time I get clean, when I relapse, I go twice as hard as whatever I ended with doing the first time. I go twice as, it's like, how your body is like, no, man, you need more. You need more.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 900 to 1,000 milligrams of Roxy's a day. Boom, I get caught on the second one on a humbug. Go to prison. Like you said, you asked me, like, what was my first day of prison like? Well, after 15 months of county jail, it felt like I got out of prison. It felt like I was free. Nobody was standing over the top of me all the time. I put a pair of gym shorts on, a pair of tennis shoes on, a t-shirt on. Like, it felt good, and it was beautiful. God, I got to prison in like November of 2011, and it was beautiful outside. We're on top of a mountain in West Virginia. Sunset's beautiful. Temperature's perfect. I'm throwing softball with my buddy. Like, it was phenomenal. So, anyways, I was in the first prison for about 6 months. I got shipped to Louisiana to the low. I was there for about 18 months. Now, I get down there, I run into like 7 or 8 guys down there who are about my age. At the time, I'm 27, 28, 29-ish. There's a couple guys down there who are my age range. We all click up. We start playing basketball together every day. We start working out together. We're like best friends. There's like 8 of us, but any given time when we'd go do something, there'd be at least 3 or 4, if not all of us together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey, Nicole, what do you want to do tomorrow? And you'd be like, well, let's do handball. I'm like, well, let me ask JD. JD, you want to do handball's cool with me. Hey, Sam, what do you want to do? Yeah, I'm down with handball. So we'd all get together and we go play handball for 5 hours after we worked out. You know, we're like a little neighborhood group of kids.
Yeah.
So then we start playing softball. Softball is the biggest deal in federal prison. It's the biggest deal. Some prisons have gangsters, like, you know, some prisons in the feds, you got guys who are kingpins, legitimately multimillionaires. So if you have a kingpin who loves softball, but he's gotten older, you know, he might be in his 50s, but he loves the game, he'll sponsor a team, meaning he basically buys a team. Hey man, my name's Rico. I love softball. I'm too old to play it. Why don't you come play for my team? And you're like, what do you mean your team? He's like, I got a group of guys. We play softball against other teams. Okay, well, why would I play for your team? Well, you know, because here's $100 in commissary. Here's a pair of cleats. Here's a sweatsuit. Here's a pair of tennis shoes. And, you know, if you need something, you come to me and we'll get it for you. So you're basically like playing for the Yankees or the Cubs or the Dodgers, but in prison in some spots.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool. And now I'm not tooting my own horn like I'm the dude, but I was fucking good. I mean,
Oh
good.
yeah, I was fast pitch softball, like really good.
I mean,
I used to play third base even with the pitcher.
Right. So I'm 6'2", 180 pounds, 28 years old, and I could fucking fly. I was fast. And then I started weightlifting and I could bomb the ball. Because you're playing with flight restricted balls, you're playing with dead bats. And growing up, I played street hockey as the goalie because my older brother wanted to be the shooter. So he would shoot hockey balls at me, and we were poor, so I would just use my baseball glove. So I'm used to catching street hockey balls with a baseball glove. So when I start playing softball, I have the flexibility of a goalie. I could do the splits to the front and to the sides, but I play first base now. So you know how, you can see the benefit of that. The quick snapper.
Yeah. When you play first base, you have to be able to get out there far.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm left-handed. I have lightning fast reactions, and I got snappy reactions. I can hit for power and I can run, and I'm smart. So okay, cool. Boom. We start playing. Well, this goes into the what's the wildest, scariest, craziest story, and this goes all into one. So this is probably 2014.
Thank you, Michael.
Late. It's the very end of 2013. This black dude shows up on the compound and he gets put in our unit. His name is Bull, right? He's from Florida. He's 48 years old, but he's in prison. He's been in prison for like 18 years. So just for people who don't understand this, if you're 48 in prison and you've been there since you were 18, you're probably about like a 31-year-old in the free world. Mentally, he was about
definitely.
Mentally, he was about like a 9-year-old in the free world. He was a dummy. But his name's Bull because of his size, but his brain is about the same capacity. He was a big, dumb animal, okay? And I say that because he was about 5'10", 260. His arms measured 20 inches apiece. Like he had 20-inch arms in prison with no weights. This dude, he had Tyrannosaurus arms, right? He had like little short arms, but he was gunned up like Hulk Hogan. I swear to God, he was huge. And he knew he was a dummy, but he also understood that I can flex my physical attributes and intimidate people.
Right.
Well, so in prison, the way prison works is you have unit ball and you have open league, right? So there's a unit season. So if I'm in A2, we put together a team out of A2 and we play guys from A1, B1, B2, C1, C2, D1, D2, right? Well, Bull thought he was God's gift to softball, and he may have been when he was 38 years old, but he's pushing 50.
Yeah.
He's too heavy to be fast. He's too dumb to be smart, because you got to have some brains playing the game. And he's too mouthy to learn anything. Now, I'm a fucking 28-year-old phenom, just keeping it 100. This guy thought he was a pitcher, but anytime we would practice and he would pitch, we would crush him. In slow pitch, underhand softball, pitching is not like fucking Nolan Ryan, you understand? But there's also a little bit of skill to it. Like, you can't just throw up meatballs and beach balls to dudes, because these dudes, we would practice. I'm not kidding you. When softball was going on, we'd practice for 3 or 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week, because we didn't have nothing else to do. So I remember one day our coach, he actually coached like junior college baseball back in the day. He knew the game, top to bottom, inside and out. And if you guys don't know baseball or softball, if you don't know baseball, you think, oh, it's an easy game. There's a lot to it that people who don't play it don't get. I get it. It's boring. It's slow. I get it.
I loved softball.
Me too.
We played fast pitch softball on a women's fast pitch softball. And it was fast pitch.
Yeah. Oh, I know. So the guy who was the coach was we lived in a room. It was an open dorm, but each cell was top to bottom block walls, but there was nothing on the front of the room, right? So it was open, but you still had space in between, whereas some places is like a gym with cots in it. You know what I mean? So the coach was my celly, Frank. He knew the game. He knew that Bull couldn't pitch when it got serious. Bulls can't pitch. If it's a game that don't matter, fucking throw him out there and let the other team score 32 runs. It don't matter. But when shit mattered, you can't pitch. Well, he got in his box one day. Now, let me back up. When he first got there, within 5 days, he should have been ran off the yard. But he was a black dude from Florida who was big and scary. And the only black dudes from Florida in my unit were all smaller guys. So they didn't want to be the one. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to go home. They didn't want to lose no good time. They didn't want to get beat up. They were scared of him, which I would have been too. If it was one of my people acting like that, I'd have been scared to death because he was a monster. But he wasn't. So the only time I interacted with him was when we were playing softball. Now, you went to prison, right? You went to state prison?
Yeah, state prison.
Okay, so the way the feds work is the default setting in federal prison is by race. You have white, black, Hispanic, and if there's a big enough population, you have other, meaning like islanders, guys from the Middle East, like Filipinos or some sort of Asian. Like they kind of make their own thing. Or what most normally happens is those guys just get down with whatever group that they relate to the most. Sometimes you have a couple Asian guys who know a bunch of Spanish people in the free world. They kick it with the Hispanics. You have some other guys, some Middle Eastern guys who kick it with white boys in the free world. They ride with the white boys. Vice versa with the black guys, right? So, so you have first distinction is by race. First distinction is by gang affiliation.
Yep.
If you're not in a gang, it goes by race. Once you get into your race, hey, if the whites and blacks get into it, I'm with the white guys. He's with the black guys. Okay, cool. Third distinction is where you from? Because like when I was in Kentucky, there's fucking 200 guys from Tennessee, 200 white guys from Tennessee. So I'm riding with the white boys, but I'm also in the Tennessee car, right? That's what we call them. Groups are known as cars.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in the white guy car, I'm in the Tennessee car, and then I'm kind of in the Knoxville car, right? So now I'm in Louisiana. There's not a lot of guys from Tennessee, but we have the white boy car. And then at the low in the feds, it's mostly chomos. There might be fucking 50 good white dudes, meaning they're not rats and they're not chomos. So the good white guy car is only about 50 deep. but there's a lot of black dudes because we're in Louisiana. And, you know, they'll do pretty good about wherever you're from. They'll kind of keep you in that region, you know, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. So, anyways, so none of the Florida guys, and there's a lot of Florida guys in Louisiana, none of them wanted to check Bull, right? So about a year later, he and I kind of we bumped heads a couple times over softball. Well, one day he's coming out there and he was just in his feelings because Frank wasn't starting him because he was a trash can. He couldn't hit, he couldn't run, he couldn't field. He was a trash can. He had Tyrannosaurus arms, so he couldn't stretch out on first base for, you know, a one hopper. So
I love baseball and softball. Okay, go ahead.
So we were practicing, and a right-handed guy hit a hard grounder to the second baseman, and there was a guy on first. So, you know, if that happens, or hits a hard grounder to first base, but it pulls the first baseman away from first, right? So what you do in that scenario is, if I'm playing first and a right-hander hits a hard shot towards first, between first and second, I pick up the ball. The second baseman comes over and covers first. The shortstop comes over and covers second. So I pick up the ball, throw it to the shortstop at second. He throws it to the second baseman who's covering first, right?
Right.
It's a funky play, and if you don't practice it, you'll fuck it up.
Right.
So Frank is saying how you turn that double play, and then Bull's like, no, you do it like this. But they're both saying it the exact same way, but Bull's starting from the end of the sequence to the beginning, and Frank's saying it from the beginning of the sequence to the end. So it sounds like they're arguing, but they're saying the same thing, just in different order. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and Bull's one of those guys who gets loud. You know, in prison, when people get to arguing, one person tries to get loud and just overtalk. And they went on for like 5 minutes like this. And finally, I was just sitting there because he was already talking about, you can put me at pitcher, you can put me at first, you can put me at third, you can put me wherever, I'm the best. And yeah. I said, bro, you can have my spot. This is the first game of the playoffs. I said, take my spot, man. You're good. I'm just tired of hearing it. Fuck you mean you tired of hearing it? I'm saying you're the best, you're the God's gift of softball. By all means, play first. I'll sit out since Frank told you weren't playing and you don't want to sit out and you feel like you're the best. By all means, take my bag and I'll sit out for the greater good. I was being condescending, but I was also being truthful.
Yeah.
Well, he knew I was being condescending. He was like, fuck you mean, white boy, you ain't saying yeah. And I'm like, bro, you're mad because you're not playing. I just offered you my starting spot in my prize base that I got voted to the All-Star game in as a first baseman. Do you want to play or do you not? Well, I don't want your fucking pity, you fucking bitch. And yeah. Okay, cool. You got that. By all means. So then fast forward 20 minutes later, they get in that argument. It goes on for 5 minutes, but they're right next to me, right? I finally turned around and was like, both of y'all, shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're saying the same fucking thing. Shut the fuck up. I'm over it. Like, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
So my Silly's like, all right. My Silly's like 55 also. So he's not used to people saying shit like that to him. But he's like, all right, cool. But Bull took that as his opportunity to punk me in front of everybody. He was like, who the fuck you telling to shut up? You, motherfucker, you. I knew what I was getting into, but it was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? I was like, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. You're both saying the same thing. You're both right. Shut the fuck up. Right, I'm losing. I'm fucking, I japped out on him like, shut up. Oh, you gonna talk to me like that? You gonna talk to me like that? Bro, I'm not trying to talk to you like nothing. Just shut the fuck up. And he's like, oh, we gonna see. We gonna fucking see who you talking to like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, as soon as we get back to the unit, it's go time. Yeah. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. If that's what you want, that's what it is. Now I've committed myself to this action because there's other people around. That's the problem, because there's other people around. So he's like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. But what he does is he's one of those dudes that would go around and talk to guys and be like, damn, bro, you see this fucking white boy over here talking to me like I'm some fucking bitch. He gonna learn today. I'm gonna fucking show him today. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm fighting. It's whatever. And then And then he sees his homeboys. His homeboys are spinning laps on the track, right? The track goes around the whole yard. Yeah, bro. Like he sees his homeboys walk by. I could hear them. I'm not watching them, but I'm listening because we're in a situation now. Yeah, homies, just love y'all, man. It's good seeing y'all. I'm gonna be up out of here today because I'm gonna get me one today when I get back. I'm gonna show this white boy who's what, and I won't be seeing y'all again. So y'all be good, man. He gonna learn. He gonna find out. And yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. So that was it. So he went in at 7:00. I stay out till 8:30 because we're practicing softball. But I also, when I took my cleats off and put my shoes on, I tied them bitches up tight because I know it's go time. So as we're walking back into the unit, he like sneaks around the corner like he's gonna sneak me, right? But my homeboy was like 5 feet in front of me and sees him and steps in between him. And as soon as I just know the move. I guess maybe from the army, but I recognize the move as abnormal. So I sidestep out, and there he is. And my homeboy's like, "Yo, bro, chill." So what? And this is me sitting in the because I went to the shoe for 127 days over a fist fight, 23-1 for 127 days over a fist fight, which should have been about 7 days. But I was at a low, and if you get in trouble at a low and you don't admit it, they hammer your ass. So I was like, okay, cool. So he came out trying to flex like he was going to get me right there because he wanted to punk me and show that he was superior in the confrontation, and me be like, nah, bro, it's cool. And me cop deuces to where he could get out of having a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did that move, like kind of giving me an out, but I look like a bitch, and he looked superior, but he didn't want to fight neither. And I could tell from his eyes he didn't want the smoke because his movement wasn't that of someone who's trying to get at someone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then as I'm walking in, he's like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna fucking see you in just a second. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, bro, you fixing to see this. You fixing to get it. You sure right. My heart's pounding. I'm scared to fucking death. I ain't been in a fight in fucking 10, 12 years at this point, right? And this guy's a monster. So I'm like, all right, cool. And now, mind you, my hair at the time is as long as your hair is right now. So I go in. My cell is at the far end of the unit. It's 240 feet from my cell to the bathroom. My cell's at the very end. I go in the cell. I'm like, I go in the cell. I put my shoes on that has the most tread, right? Because in federal prison, in open units, you fight in the bathroom because that's where there's no cameras.
Oh yeah.
But you'll fucking get killed in the bathroom too because it's wet. So I'm like, and now all my homies, there's like 8 homies in the unit. They're coming to the room like, yo, bro, what's up? What are we doing? Do we need to get the things? Do we need to do? What are we doing? I said, no, me and fuck boy over here. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna fist fight, and it's gonna be what it is. And they're like, bro, you can't do that. This is rule number 1. In case anybody ever goes to prison from this day forward, and you're in this live, you do not fight other races in federal prison. A white guy and a black guy and a Spanish guy and a white guy. You do not fight unless you and another race is playing handball and one of y'all do something and like get one over on somebody and you just get mad and be like, fuck you, bitch. And then it's, if you call a guy a bitch in prison, it's fight automatic. It's automatic. And once the dust settles and all the races hear, oh, well, he called him a bitch, then it's not a thing. But like me and Bull, he's a black guy, I'm a white guy. We should have never fought. The big homie should have stepped in and said, hey, you, white guy, Jarrett, shut the fuck up and sit down. The black guy should have turned to him and said, you, Bull, shut the fuck up and sit down. We'll figure this out.
The key holders, the one who runs.
Shut the fuck up and sit down. We'll figure this out.
The key holders, the one who runs the yard, right?
Correct.
The guys that are over the whites, like the Aryan Nation guys, Aryan Brotherhood guy that holds the keys. They all have like a leader of their race.
Correct. And see, at the low, you don't really have those kind of gangsters. It's not really like on any, like with the white guys, a lot of yards, it is based off a guy who's in a white gang with some power. But at the low, you don't really have that because ABs aren't allowed to be at a low because if an AB is within hands distance of a child predator, they're supposed to kill them automatically.
Kill him. Yeah.
So at the low, it's the guys who are about to go home and everybody's being cool. But, you know, we've all decided if you're a chomo, you stay over there and don't do anything we say you do. And if you do, we'll smash you. But if you don't, we'll let you guys live peacefully. You know, like you sit in the very back of the room or you sit outside of the room. You know what I'm saying? Because there's 400 chomos at the low. That's how there's 400 predators at the low. So they actually had a car with a shock collar. There was the biggest group on the compound. Now, granted, 385 of them are fucking pussies, but there's like 15 of them that were that were legitimately about that life in the gangster sense.
That makes me sick. There's so many people that do that to children. Ugh, that makes me sick.
See, now when I started at the medium, if you were a chomo, you're out. You're off the yard. I ran them up. That's why I got shipped when I first got locked up, because it was like, yo, Jarrett, go holler at the dude and see what's up with him. I went and hollered at him. I sussed out he wasn't no good. Fucking get up out of here, bitch. But the fucking case manager was like, you don't run the yard, I run the yard. So he sent me to Louisiana. I was 3 hours away from home. He sent me 16 hours away from home because he wanted to establish his dominance. So anyways, so we go in the bathroom, right? Bull walks in first. I walk in behind him. And now he's talking like, damn, bro, what's up? What you want to do? You want to fucking be? I could see it in his eyes. He didn't want to fight. He was begging me this is no tough guy shit, because in the end, he ended up getting out on me. But I could see it in his eyes. He wanted me to fucking cop deuces so bad because he had a good thing going there, and so did I. I had a great thing going there. I learned how to crochet at the first spot I was in because I had no money. I had no money coming in, and the only skill I could actually take nothing to something was to learn how to crochet and make teddy bears and house shoes and all that shit. And literally, I'm not kidding you, 3 weeks before this happened, I had made a pair of fucking house shoes that looked like Chuck Taylor's, but they were crocheted. I was selling $200 a week worth of these shoes, and they were costing me $10 to make. I was booming.
Yeah.
If you're making $800 cash in prison a month, that's like making $5,000 a month in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I go in there, but I'm not copping deuces at this point. I'm like, I'm locked in. We're saving face, and I fucking hate this guy. I'm scared to death of him, but I hate his guts. So, like I said, he's like 5'8". He's probably between 5'8" and 5'10". He had dreads, so I couldn't really tell. He's probably about 5'8", 5'9". I'm 6'2", right? So, like I said, I don't have a ton of fighting experience, but I know what I'm doing. So I set the distance, right? And I set the distance, and I'm turned sideways, like, like a boxer, classic boxer, hands high, just. So I set the distance, but one step back. So when this dude would take one step towards me, I fucking blast him with the overhand left, and he'd be like this. And then I'd take one step back. And then when he'd come back to his senses, he'd take one step toward me. Boom! I'd blast him again and be like this. Now, what I should have done is like rushed him and like kneed him and elbowed him and knocked him out quick. But I was scared because he was big and I didn't want him to grab me. So I do that 4 times. And as I'm about to do it the 5th time, he shakes it off and says, fuck it. He charges me. Now, this is a fucking giant man. He's like, if I had both my hands, he was like this. Rah! He's trying to grab me. I'm like ducking and slipping and dodging. And I turn and I get underneath him and I go to blast him again, right? But we're in the bathroom and my left foot slips out from under me. So I go like this. Right?
Oh, no.
So my left leg straight back. I'm basically doing a one-legged squat on my right knee. He turns because as I'm slipping and dodging, he like does like this with his hand, and he's got these fucking long ass cocaine nails, right? You know that you've seen the black dudes with the pink nail. All his nails are like this. He fucking scratched me like this, like the Wolverine from my ear to my fucking nipple. So and my shirt's torn. I'm bleeding. So when I throw that punch, the 5th punch, I slip and I go down. He fucking fall. You know how when a bear raises up on its back legs? He's like that. And then he falls down on the top of my shoulders. So look, I'm like this, Nicole. I'm squatted on my knees with my head down, and his chest is on my neck, on the back of my neck. I can't go nowhere. I can't stand up because he's got me in a fetal position, but I'm standing on my feet, but in a squatted fetal position, right?
Right.
So he's got his chest on the back of my neck. So I'm like this. I'm like, gee, gee, gee. He starts throwing these goddamn uppercuts, Nicole. I remember him to this day. This was almost 10 years ago. He's got those little Tyrannosaurus arms that are 20 inches around, right? This motherfucker, look, he starts throwing these uppercuts like this. Boom!
Oh, man.
I can feel my fucking eyes turning black as he's hitting me. He is punishing me. He gets two with the left hand. Boom! Boom! I grab his wrist. So now all he's got is his right hand. Boom! Boom! Grab his left hand. And he's blowing my face to pieces, right? Like it. So now I'm squatted down. He's laying on me. I've got both his wrists. He's got nothing. His pecs are sitting on the back of my neck. Both his hands can't go nowhere. I'm playing for the referee at this point, knowing that the guys are going to break it up, right? Like I'm just playing for the whistle now. You know what I mean? Like I punched him, he punched me, he got out on me. Well, he's got these long ass dreads, probably down to almost like top of his butt crack. They're laying on my back because his head's down like this, right? He starts biting me. He starts biting my fucking back, right? Like da 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 da. He bites me 6 times. The whole time I'm screaming, I'm like, you fucking bitch, you're fucking biting me, you fucking pussy bitch. I'm, because I can't let him go because he'll fucking beat me to death.
Yeah.
And finally, I feel the weight of him come up off of me, and so I pop up, and now I'm still good, like physically, like I'm beat to death and I'm bleeding, but I'm still game to fight, but I don't want to fight, but I'm not going to quit either. This black dude who was like the biggest snitch rat in the whole world, but he's like 6'6", 320 pounds. He's the one who pulled him off of me. He was like, y'all done? His name was Whisper. He talked like this. He's like, y'all done? You got him. He got you. The shit's over. Fuck all that. Right? And I'm like, he's like, if y'all want to keep going, we can. And I'm like, I mean, it's whatever you want to do, bro. Like, I don't want to keep going. I don't. And he knows I don't want to keep going. So he's like, well, fuck. We call that big dude Whisper. He was like, fuck you, Whisper, you big bitch. And Whisper's like, you don't call me no bitch. I'll kill you, bitch. I'll stab you. Right? Like Whisper was a big bitch, but he would stab you. Like he didn't give a fuck. So I go back to my cell, and I got 2 Mexican cellies. It's 4 white dudes and 2 Spanish guys. One of them's name's Roscoe. He don't speak no English, right? This is a Friday night. I walk in the cell, and Roscoe goes, Jerry, because they can't say Jerry. He can't say Jarrett, and they can't say Jerry. Jerry, what's up, Roscoe? I never felt that good in my life. I felt like $1 million. I mean, I knew I was hurt physically, but you're like, I did what I was supposed to do. I did the right thing. I was like, what's up, Roscoe? He's like, you good, Jerry? Too good? Yeah, man, I'm good. Okay, Jerry. Okay, man. Look, boom, boom. Black eyes like this. So I had these, where he was hitting me with those uppercuts, I had like these 2, you know what a mouse is, right? Like the big, like egg-shaped bumps on it. I had 2 of them, like I had one here and one on my forehead. And then like, my lips are busted where he smashed my, you know what I mean? And my other celly was a boxing trainer for 20 years. So he turns to another guy. I was like, hey, go get me a fucking ice cold soda from the store, man, right? And I'm like, what? He's like, Jarrett, sit down. I sit down in the chair. He gets that ice cold Diet Coke. And those like metal things that you see the corner man like pressing on things? He's doing that to my face. And when I say that hurts so goddamn bad.
I bet.
So what happens is he pushes all those those subdermal hematomas out, and all the blood runs down and fills up underneath my eyes, right? So I got black eyes like this. And now my back is covered in bites. Now, I don't know what was going on around me outside while this was happening, but apparently it was about to be a full-scale race riot in the unit. But my 6 homeboys were standing in the bathroom entrance, literally elbow to elbow, arms locked, to not let any of the black dudes run in and fucking beat me to death.
Yeah.
And so my celly, who's like this nerdy white guy who was in there for fucking sending weed in the mail, he's got his combination lock attached to his belt like a nunchuck stuffed in his pants. So he's trying to hold these black dudes back, thinking he's about to have to start swinging nunchucks at them. And I'm like, they're telling me a story. I'm like, God damn, bro, shit. I was so then we had this dude Bird. He's a white dude, but he's a white kid who grew up in New Orleans in the Ninth Ward, right? So you know all about that. I mean,
Yeah.
the white kids from the Ninth Ward might as well be the most hood black kids you ever met in your life, and they're not even
Right.
close. Bird was kind of like the pod father, right? He comes down there like, yo, Jarrett, man, I see you handle business, bro. You fucking did your thing, and much respect. I said, Bird, go see if it's. I said, I'm good, no beef, like I'm good, but go see if this is going to be a thing. Like, are we going to go to, is this going to be a race war on a fucking Friday night
Right.
at midnight? So he goes down, he politics it, everything's cool, yeah. But now I'm kind of like, there's a couple dudes who feel like I did it because he was a black dude, which is the dumbest shit in
Right.
the world. I did it because he was a piece of shit. This guy gave you 40 reasons to hate him before you ever got to his skin color.
Right.
So I'm going to the shower. I'm literally walking to the shower like the Secret Service, right? There's like 6 dudes with me walking to the shower. You know what I'm saying? Like all around me. I'm walking in there like I'm a head of state. Go in there. I got these bite marks though. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So I go I go shower, get in the bed. I'm not allowed to leave the unit because if I leave the unit, the cops will see me. But there's only one unit and 200. There's only one cop in the unit. And there's 250 guys. I can roll over if the cop walks by or whatever in the unit. So dudes are bringing me food or whatever. I make it through the whole weekend, and then on Monday morning, here comes SIS calling my name and his name, wanting to know what happened.
Oh shit.
Because in the feds, you have email, right? You can email your loved ones in the feds. Well, they also have a button to push to email SIS. So people can snitch through the email.
Without nobody knowing.
Correct. So that's what happened. So I go in there like, what happened to your face? I'm like, I was playing basketball. I'm like, oh yeah? I was like, yeah, playing basketball. I mean, beat up for basketball. I said, well, what? I said, well, I'm not really beat up. I said, I was playing basketball. I went up, came down. Dude was going for the rebound, turned around and elbowed me in the bridge of my nose. That's why I got the black eyes. Oh, that's what happened? Yeah, you didn't get in a fight with such and such. He was also down there with me. They called us both down there. I said, no, I didn't get no fight with nobody. He's like, all right, cool. Take your shirt off. Excuse me? Take your shirt off. Okay. Take my shirt off. I got the fucking Wolverine fucking marks on me like this. What happened to your chest? I was playing basketball. Black guys, nails, whatever. Cool, turn around. Turn around. 6 very distinct bite marks on my back. This is the SIS guy. He already knows what happened. He's just got, he wants to see. So what happened? You have a little lover's quarrel. You like it dirty. That's what you and your partner do. This is what I do. The problem is since he's black and I'm white, if it was 2 white guys, I'd be like, he and I had
It would
a thing.
be a big deal, and you could say that y'all had a fight, but because it's 2 different races, it's like totally off limits.
I can't say that he and I had a disagreement and we had a mutual combat situation and it's handled and no need to lock us up or ship us because the problem is resolved, because then I'm telling on a black guy.
Right.
And that does create, even though we're at a soft ass low, that does create a racial problem for the rest of the compound. So fast forward, we sit in the shoe for 6 weeks before we even go to our hearing, which is absurd because none of that time counts towards if you get 120 days in the shoe, none of that counts towards your sentence. It's not like time served, it's just dead time. So we finally get in there. Mr. White, what happened? I tell him the same bullshit story. He's like, well, Mr. White, I know you were fighting. We have 6 reports from people in your unit that you were fighting. So if you tell us you were fighting, I will cut your sentence down dramatically. And I literally just kept it all the way 100 with him. I said, well, sir, here's the problem. I said, let's just say that I was fighting, hypothetically speaking, right? And he was like, yeah, hypothetically, you got in a fist fight. I said,
hey, my phone's like, hey, just so you know, my phone's fixing to die. We're on 2%.
Okay, I said, so hypothetically, I did get in a fight with a guy. I said, but also hypothetically, if I was to say I got in a fight with a black guy, that would be admitting his guilt on his part, and he's black and I'm white. And then now you have 200 guys on the compound stabbing each other based off skin color, and I can't do that. So you understand my situation, but also know that I truly regret anything that may or may not have happened. He was like, yeah, cool, no problem. 90 days in the shoe. Well, shit, fuck, I've been there for 60 days already. Since I didn't admit guilt, he would have gave me 30 days. But since I lied to him, even though I explained the lie, bam, bing bong, 127 days at 23 and 1.
Damn, dude, listen, everybody, please go follow Jarrett at KW272020. He's my friend, and he did prison time. And sometimes at night we do these live streams and we tell prison stories and we chop it up and talk shit. And so if y'all will please go follow him. I want to stay on. I'm literally on 2% battery. Listen to me.
I literally just put my phone in.
Go listen to me. Tomorrow, are you going to be off work or do you have to work tomorrow?
No, it should be off.
I'll text you. I'm going to hang up and text you, okay?
Yeah,
Go be good.
All right, be good, sis.
Bye.
Bye.
I love listening to him tell those prison stories. And I just want to say one thing before we leave. You guys, in prison, especially the men's prison, it has nothing to do with race. Like when we're talking, we're not prejudiced. We love all kinds of races. But in prison, it's very, very strict like that. Black people don't mix with the white people. Black people don't mix with the Mexican people, and because of what you were hearing him say right there. So I just don't want anybody to get the wrong idea like out here on TikTok. But we'll explain more and y'all will hear some more stories about his 9.5 years he did in prison for robbing a bank. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I will upload this video on my YouTube channel so y'all can hear it if you didn't get to hear it, okay? All right. I love you guys. Oh, his name is Jarrett with a T. Jarr. Oh, my phone's dying, y'all. I gotta go. It's shutting down as we speak. Love y'all.